So I've just had the second CT scan of my life. First one obviously being before the operation when they diagnosed the cancer. This one was equally as unexpected as the last one, in that I only found out about it on Thursday and it's Monday today. This is a kind of a follow-up CT scan just to check if there's any cancer anywhere else, so that they can then determine what to do next. So turned up for my scan. Before I went for my scan, I was here quite early, so I went down and found the Macmillan Centre, which is run by the Macmillan Cancer Charity. It's a really nice place actually, first time I've ever been there. Very friendly, very welcoming, made me a cup of tea and some biscuits, lots of leaflets there, told me about some of the complementary therapies and things that they offer there, which I'm sure I will go back and make use of at some time in the future. Then went for my scan at the appropriate time, so you have to turn up an hour before so they can give you your prep. I went to the scanning department to be told I would be in the portable scanner, which is outside the hospital, so not actually that easy to find. It's in a part of the hospital that I've not been to before, so I had a bit of a trek outside into the cold air and the porter cabin, where they put me in and gave me a litre bottle of water to drink. It wasn't a litre actually, where they gave me a 500ml bottle of water to drink before the scan, and then just before the scan was due, they put a cannula in my arm for the contrast. So with some CT scans they give you an injection of contrast medium which shows up your blood vessels. It can make certain features easier to see on the scan. So I had a bit of a wait in there, so while I was waiting I made good use of the reading material that I'd got from the Macmillan Centre, reading about travelling with cancer and about kidney cancer. So my hope is that I will be able to go on a holiday at some point, hopefully this year, depending on what happens with treatment. If I am having some further treatment, that's going to make it trickier. If I don't have any further treatment, then I'm good to go, basically. But if I do have treatment, which is likely to be immune therapy, that's going to impact on things like being able to have travel vaccines, so that will have an effect on where I can go. Travel insurance is going to be a pig as well. That'll be more expensive, and that might make it more difficult to go to some different places. But yeah, a bit of light reading while I was waiting, and then just before I went in for the scan, they called me round to, you're in this little porter cabin with about 10 other people, and they call you behind this little partition which is clearly not soundproof in any way, and they're asking you all these questions about when your last period was, etc, etc. Anyhow, so I went round there. I had to take my bra off because you can't wear your bra in if you're having a chest CT because the metal gets in the way. They put the cannula in, no problems at all, I've got good veins. And then another short wait, went through to the scan itself, which is in another porter cabin. Nice scanner though, it's very newish. I think it's only been there a couple of years, they were saying. Went in, didn't have to undress, but I had to lay on the scanning table, which moves in and out through the donut of the scan itself, and had to take my jeans down because obviously they've got metal zip and metal buttons which would interfere with the scan as well. But my dignity was preserved with a pillowcase. So lay on the scanning table. They connected me up to the IV giving set which delivers the contrast, and then I waited for the scan. So the scan itself only takes about 5 minutes, and you just kind of go in and out through the scanner, through the donut. It gives you instructions to take a deep breath in and hold your breath while you're going through the scanner, and then you can breathe normally once they've finished taking the pictures. So you go through a couple of times, and then they get an idea of kind of the images and whether you're in the right place and all of that. Then they inject the contrast, and then you go through again and they take the scan. So yeah, the scan itself is fine. The contrast is a bit odd. So when the injection goes in, I get a really strong taste in my mouth, and you get a slightly warm sensation kind of throughout your body, but I particularly kind of find it in my groin area. Yeah, and this odd kind of taste in my mouth, which lasts for a couple of minutes and then that goes away again. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's, you know, it's no pain, it's not uncomfortable or anything like that, it's just a weird sensation. So once the scan was done, back through to the other porter cabin to sit and wait for 10 minutes to make sure you're not having any kind of reaction, and then cannula out, and then Bob's your uncle, off you go home. So results will be a week Thursday, so I've got, what's that, about 10 or 11 days to wait to see what the results are. Just hoping that it's not going to show anything. We'll see. If it does, it does. We'll go from there. If it doesn't, we'll go from there.